So hello friends, welcome back, and in this video we are going to see uh, round 648. Okay, so we are seeing the problem C, which is rotation matching. So as usual, first of all I will explain the problem statement and then we will move on to the approach, how to think and how to have an intuition for this problem, and then as usual we will see the code. So starting off with the problem statement, we will be having n number of integers in an array. Then we will be having two arrays, a and b. Suppose a1, a2 up to an and b1, b2 up to bn. So actually what I need to do is I need to shuffle, or you can say I need to shift one of these arrays any number of times, and after shuffling, or you can say after shifting, not shuffling, shifting, you can say that you can shift clockwise, you can shift right, or you can shift left, any of these arrays. And after shifting, what you need to do is you need to check what is the maximum number of elements which can be matched. Okay, now what's the meaning of match? Which means that after shifting the elements like these, they should match. With the example it will be more clear. So let me take an example. So let me extend it a bit. Yeah, so if we see the first example, then we have five elements. One element is 1 2 3 4 and 5. Next element is 2 3 4 5 and 1. So what we will do is we will shift it. Now which one? As you can clearly see that if I shift this one time, then I will get 1 2 3 4 5. Understanding how I shifted it? So it will come here, it will go here, it will go here, it will go here, it will go here. So it will be make like this. So as you can see that these are same, these are same, these are same, these are same, and these are same. So how many number of same elements? How, or you can say how many number of matches? There are 5 matches. Thus my answer is 5. Now let's take another example, which is 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5. So although I will not explain, but here as you can see that it will have only 1, but I will explain a harder example for you guys. See, next example is 1 3 2 4. Now it is 4 2 3 1. So as you can clearly see that when I will shift it, so one thing might happen that if I shift like this, so if I shift it one time, so that 2 will come here, my 1 will go here. So it will be something like this. It will be something like 1 4 2 and 3. So 1 1 2 2. So maximum number of matches are 2. Now you will say, okay, so Arun, what I will do is I will shift it every time and I will check. So if you shift it every time, which means that you have n elements and you shift it n times, so it will be O of n square, which will give TLE, but I don't want it. So I have to do something in O of n only. So yeah, let's think on it. Now thinking much on it, that first of all it is said that it's a circular array, or you can say neat. You can see that shifting happens, which means that you can rotate the array, which means that if it is 1 2 3 4 5, you can write it for like 4 5 1 2 3, which means that you can rotate it, which means that it is cyclic. And whenever the term cyclic comes in the picture, you should always remember that you can repeat the array one time, which means that if 1 3 2 4, it is cyclic, so I can write 1 3 2 4 again, because it represents the cyclic manner. So one thing which comes in my mind is that I will write in a cyclic manner. Okay, then I will write my another array here, 4 2 3 1. I am having the example here, as you can see the example this. Okay, so let me raise this arrow. Yeah, So as you can clearly see that, okay, to make it, so now to make it cyclic, my 1, it should be matched with the one next to it. Okay, understanding? My 3, it should be matched with the 3 next to it. Understanding? Understanding how? Because when I will cyclic shift it, so the 3 here, it will move here, which actually is the 3 here. So the 3 here, I repeated it here. Understanding? How? See how the cyclic array work is, when you go like this, it go like this, but when you move back, or you can say when you move in a cycle like this, so next time when the number appears, so it will be appeared later. So 1 will be matched with the one next, which means that 1, when it is shifted, then it will become like something like this: 1 4 2 3. So 1 matched with the cyclic one, not the actual one. So cyclic one is in the next one. Okay, so the 3 will be matched with 3. Oh, let me erase this below things. Yeah, so the 3 will be matched with the 3 here, the 2 will be matched with the 2 here. Okay, or the 2 can be matched with the 2 here, but it will be matched with the 2 here, but you can say that it can match also with the 2 here. Okay, it can match with 2 also here. The 4, it will match with the 4 here, and can be matched with the 4 here. Okay, but although now I will say that it is not required, because see, actually when it will move, so 4 4 4 4, now when it moves back, then it will become here. So the farther one will never be required, because now the cases will be repeating, so we need the just first ones. Okay, now let's see. If I clearly see this, let me erase these to make it a better picture for you guys. Yeah, if I can clearly see that my 2 to move to the next 2, where, okay, the 2 was here, so let me write it again. So it was 4 3 4 4 2 3 1. So that 2 4 will be matched with this 4. So what is, suppose it is 1 2 3 4, so how they are apart? They are 4 minus 1 3 apart. Okay, cool. Now 2 matched with here. Now how they are apart? They are 1 apart. Okay, cool. The 3, it can't be matched here, because it will be matched in the cyclic rotation, so it will be matched with the next one. So the 3 will be matched with this. So if it is 5, it is 6, so it will be 6 minus 3, which is 3. Okay, now 1 will be matched with this one, so it will be 5 minus 4, which is 1. So as you can see that in 3 cyclic rotations, the 4 will match with the 4. In one cyclic rotation, it means in one shift. In 3 shift, the 4 will be matched with this 4. In one shift, the 2 will be matched with the 2. In 3 shift, the 3 will match with this 3. In one shift, the 1 will match with the 1, this 1. So from this I can clearly say that, see, if I do 3 shifts, then I will match 2 numbers, which are 4 and 3. If I do 1 shift, then also I will match 2 numbers, which are 2 and 1. So I will check the count of these matches, which means this 3. I will check at every step, which means I will plus it at every step, I will get it. And I will check the count of this 1 also at every step, I will check. If I will get it, I will plus it. Then after all these counts, I will have my maximum count, which will represent what is the maximum numbers which I can get with this particular number of shifts. See, the 3 here represents number of shifts, and the value of this represents how many numbers which we can match after doing these number of shifts. So I hope that you guys must have understood it. First of all, what I will need to do, I will check, first of all I will make a cyclic array, as I showed you, by repeating the elements. Then I will check my, suppose I have a 4, then what is the, the next occurrence of 4. If I have 2, then the next occurrence of 2 above. If I have 3, then I will not have the 2 index 3, because see, the index of 3 here is 3. So I need a 3 which is more index, which means the 3 present here, so that I can minus it. Understanding? Okay. Now then after that, what I will do, when I have these arrays made, then I will do the difference part. I will subtract my this value with this, and I will have this value. Then I will make a array of a count, and suppose I make an array of this count. I initialize with 0, but you can have a map also. Then I will increase my value of count at every difference values. I will do plus plus, and for everything of these I will check what is my answer, and from all these value of counts I will have my maximum count value, and that will be my answer. So I will quickly show you the code. The code is pretty simple. First of all, I will have my n, then I will have my array A. Okay, then I will have a map of LL vectors, which this basically indicates, although it was not much required to have a vector here, you can have a pair also. You just need to store these two values, which means the particular number 2, it can have 2 here also and 2 here also. So to store the index 3 and to store the index 7, I used a vector, although you can use a pair also. So yeah, no worries in that. So what I will do, I will push my index, as I can say that because I made the vector to push my index only. So in the value I push my index, and I push my next, which means the cyclic index, which means the next index. Then I had a map of B to store the indexes of B. Okay, now I will, as showed you, that I have a variable array called count. Then maximum V, it stores the maximum of, the maximum value which I can obtain, as I showed you, because I needed the maximum of all the counts. Then I iterated my array from 1 to n, and my 0 to mp of a, which means that it is the vector size, the vector here. Although it is 2, it means that it will only be 0 and 1. So yeah, no worries for that. I just write it in a exhaustive way. Although it can be very very simpler, you can write just a pair, and you can write just two conditions basically. But okay, let's move further. Then I had my mp of b of I. It shows the index of the particular element for the array B. It shows the index of particular element for the array A, but it should be more than the array B1. Okay, now if it happens, then I will just increase my value of count by that particular difference, and here I update my maximum value, and then I just break out of this J loop, because see, although the breaking out of this loop is not much important because this only has two values, zeros and ones, but I break out only because if suppose I get a 0, it means if it is matched with the first element, then I don't have to match with the next element, because it will never be occurred, because before that it will start repeating. Then I just print out my maximum value. So I hope that you guys got the intuition that how you made a cyclic array, and when you make a cyclic array, and with the help of that repeating array which you make, how will you check that after doing a cyclic rotation in O of n, basically in O of n, how will you check that after doing a cyclic rotation you will reach a particular point or not? So I hope that I was able to explain all your doubts, and if still you have any of your doubts, you can write down below. And if you like the video, then please hit the like button, and yeah, see you in the next problem. Bye.